Hey guys, welcome to the 15th episode of Q&A. We are having a very important topic covered in today's episode from the series of Tickle in VLSI. Viewer Krishna Kittu has asked in the 5th episode of Tickle in VLSI series, can you explain about the usage of eval command in Tickle? Previously, he have asked, can you explain us about the exec command? So, in today's episode, we will do comparative study of eval versus exec in Tickle. Stay tuned till the end of this episode to understand the difference. Hey guys, welcome back. Here is the menu for today. We will first discuss what is exec. Next we will discuss simple use of exec. Next we will discuss EDA automation use of exec. Next we will come to the point what is eval. Then we'll go through a simple use of eval. Next, we will explore the repetitive use of eval. Next, we will summarize our entire observation. So, this is the menu for today. Without any further delay, let's begin. So guys, today we are discussing the question from Krishna Kittu, and who has asked that we explain about eval and exec. His comment was there in the 5th episode of Tickle in VLSI. So let's move on. What is exec? The exec command executes a system command that is binary from Linux or Unix while staying inside TCLSH. Now this is the definition, because whatever we execute inside Tickle, all they are Tickle procedures, and in case we want to access any outside binary, that may be from Unix, Linux, or in case of EDA VLSI, it may be a EDA VLSI tool or some kind of post-processing tool that could also be there. So that has to be called from within the Tickle shell. So exec is used for this particular purpose. If you have seen the Perl episode, there are two commands. One is a system, another is a backtick. They have similar kind of application there inside Perl. I told this because you can correlate, compare and learn. Now let me move on to the next point. The exec command treats its argument as the names and arguments for a set of programs to run. So if there are three space separated text which we give to exec, the first one will be treated as the command. The rest of the space separated text will be treated as the argument of that particular command. In VLSI EDA automation, any external EDA software binary can also be executed using exec while staying within the shell of a parent EDA tool. Now why I call parent? Because when say you are running a STA engine and you are inside the STA shell, like you have seen the open timer right in my channel, there inside the shell, from there if you have to execute a outside binary, this could be one of the measures that you can take. Generally there are many design tools like maybe PNR tool, maybe STA, maybe there are front-end tools also. Those tools have their shell from where you can call the exec. Obviously you have to check the compatibility with the tools shell and you have to use it as per the instruction in the tools manual. Now why I have mentioned this point? Because in Tickle shell TCLSH you can right away use the examples that I have shown. But in case of the EDA tools, they might have some wrapper or they may have some modified version of the exec that you can use there. So don't jump to any conclusion. You have to check and scrutinize before you use it. I'm done with this particular slide. Let's move on. Simple use of exec. So first, let us see an example where we can see the very simple use of exec. How this exec is used. Here goes our code in the pink box, and in this black box our output will come. So let us start the code. The first line is hashbang TCLSH. This you already know. Then comes the comment, that is simple use of exec. Now here I write a command that set output and then I write exec then hello.tickle. And now what this hello.tickle? It's another Tickle script. Here is the content of the hello.tickle. The first line is as usual the hashbang user win TCLSH and then the puts command with hello world. So this way we are executing an external Tickle script using the exec command. Puts output, so it puts the output and prints the output whatever we have received in the output command. Now when we have the rectangular bracket, it executes the exec or whatever Tickle commands within. Here we are executing the exec. After that execution, whatever the result, that will stored in the output variable and then we print the output. This is way we are going to test the exec for the subsequent lines also. Here we write set output exec pwd. Pwd is for the present working directory. When we type this in our Unix shell, whatever directory inside the hierarchical path we are in, it will print out up to that leaf level. Then again we print it. Then I use exec with whoami. Whoami gives the user ID that with which I have logged into the Linux or the Unix system. Then I print it. Next, I use exec then which tclsh. Here with the which command, we are locating the path where the tclsh binary is stored inside the Linux or the Unix system. Then we print the output. Now, several things I have written in the script, and once I execute the script, these values come. Hello world. The first one that comes from the execution of the hello article. Next, we done the exec of the pwd, and that gives the output as the full path up to the directory inside which I have executed this particular script. Next, whoami returns the username. Here it is msg, and here in case you are logged in your system with any name Rahul, so it will return Rahul. And next, we queried the tclsh path which is given by user bin tclsh. One thing I would like to mention here that you can execute these things as shown in the tickle, or in case you do not want to store the output, you just want to execute, what you can do, let me bring my mouse, you can just keep this section that is within the rectangular bracket, it will execute, and rest of this variable and printing on the screen will not be there, it will execute. So you can do this also, try at your end and let me know. So folks, we are done with this particular slide. Let's move on to the next slide. EDA automation use of exec. Now in this example, I will exemplify in a simple manner how this exec can be used in EDA automation. In this pink box, the code will go, and the black box, the output will come. Now folks, before beginning, one thing I would like to mention here. When you are practicing a tickle code or maybe a Perl code at your end, you do not bother about whatever message it is outputting, or it got stuck, script will crash and it will give some output. You have plenty of time to debug and rerun. However, when the situation comes to a crucial point, that means you are writing automation inside any VLSI company, there your script has to become foolproof. That means even if there is an error or something warning is coming, you have to also display it without crashing the script. That should be your intent. You may not be 100% perfect at the very beginning. However, with time, you can achieve this perfection. Now, let me start the script and you will come to know why I have given this little amount of introduction in this particular slide. Here, first our hashbang user bin tclsh is there. Next, we have the catch. Catch is another command in tickle. It evaluates a script and trap exceptional returns. So what is the exceptional return? This means rather than the intended execution, that means a success execution, it went to a error or warning. So those are exceptional returns. So catch is a tickle command that can be used to capture these particular situations and scenarios. In the coming example, I will have two cases where our intended script is running with success, and there will be another case where our intended script is failing. That means we intend it to fail and we want to capture the failure. So let's begin the script. Here is the use of the catch. We put it inside the if block and put it inside a rectangular bracket catch. Then we write the exec command. Here the syntax is different. Here we have the curly bracket inside which we keep the exec and the subsequent command. And once we close the, let me bring my mouse. Once we close the curly bracket, we have a ret, that is return variable. It corresponds to catch. If something unusual comes in, this return will catch that. And here we close it. So here I just give a put inside if block 1 just to have the location from where the output is coming in our output. Next, I print the return variable, whatever it is. Next comes the else block. What we have in the else block? The return status, then catch, then exec, then pwd. So you can see here that we have used it like this fashion. And we write inside else block 1. So if block 1 and else block 1 means it's the first set of if else condition. And we print the return status. and we close the else statement. Let me bring my mouse. Now this case, this pwd will easily execute by the exec command. We know it, we have already done it in the previous example. Now here our intention is that this execution, the if block will not return anything, instead it will go to else. So if we want a success case, we will put inside the else, and if the failure has to capture, it has to capture in the this one, the if. This is the way we are doing. So this is the example where we are dealing with the successful execution. And now let us come to the next example, that is another if else block. Here if, right, catch exec, then cd, then user bin tclsh and abc. So we know very well that this is a binary tclsh and we cannot have a directory inside a binary. So this is obviously going to fail. So forcefully I am failing it, and that's why I have kept in the first if condition here. That means the if block, not the first one. This is the first one and this is the second if block. In this case I have forcefully failing this execution to see what return is coming from the catch statement. So here it is very similar, catch, here it is catch, here is the execution, and here is the return. So next I print it inside if block 2. This is the second if else block, and I print the return value. I start the else, then we print the inside else block 2, and we execute in the similar fashion. Here also we have executed, and here also is a set, then return status, and then catch, exec, whatever it is. And I close the else block here. Now here you can see our first block, the if statement is here. The code execution will not go here, instead it will go here. And in the second case we know definitely our code execution will enter into this and will not enter into this. So both the cases will have the output. Let's have the output. So first it prints the inside else block 1. So it, as we thought, it would not go inside the if, instead it will go into the else. So it has inside the else and already it has executed. So return status is 1. Here the return status is 1, right? And here it is, we are done for this first if else block. Now let us go into the second one. Now as we thought it will enter into the if block, as we are forcefully failing this command, it has entered into the if block, and with this return value, the rate, it shows that could not execute cd, no such file or directory. That was our expectation, because inside a binary there cannot be a directory. So this way you have to understand this slowly and with time, why this catch and if and end block are there. This is because when you are writing a script for the EDA VLSI automation, right, your script should run smoothly, even any execution inside it fails. So you've seen that the whole tickle script has run, inside which we have conditioned it in such a way with the catch command that even there is a case where it is failing, the script is not crashing, the script is executing perfectly, and finally it is printing out the message here. So this way obviously you can print the message with a warning tag or error tag, or you can print it with for the std error or is std out, whatever you want to output. So you can use that. That is a kind of advanced level application, so I am not covering it here. You can explore by yourself. In case you have trouble, you let me know, I'll show an example. So here we are done with the EDA automation level use of exec, the way or the fashion the exec command should be used with catch inside the EDA VLSI automation. So guys, this is a very important slide and we are done with it. Let's move on. What is eval? First here, tickle allow new command creation and execute them while running a tickle script. You might be wondering, okay, what you are telling. If you have learned C, remember that in C there are macros which you can define inside the code and you can use them later on, right? So this is allowed in C, the macro creation and using the macros. So you can just have a similar feature in tickle, which is eval, but it is not a macro. It is not called a macro, but the way of application is kind of that. Typically, a tickle command is defined as a list of string where the first string is a command or a procedure. So it could be a tickle command or a user written procedure, okay? And the rest of the part of the string will be the arguments to that command or procedure. Any string or list which meets this criteria can be evaluated and executed by the eval command. This means we are executing custom command that is written by you inside the tickle using the eval. And previously in exec what we have done, we have executed our external program. So this is the basic difference. We'll come to the details later. Let's go on with the bullets. In VLSI EDA automation, you may have a set of commands which you need to repeat several times in your EDA tool shell for either design or analysis. So you can club a set of commands under a particular shorthand. You will come to know with the example how that shorthand is created and execute those set of 3, 4, 5 little commands in one go with the eval. So this is the beauty of eval. So let's move on to the examples. Simple use of eval. Here goes our code. Here it will be our output. First line starts with hashbang user bin tclsh. Next, we have a short comment here inside the script. Define a shorthand for a set of tickle commands. Set cmd puts hello world. Here first thing what we are doing, let me bring my mouse here. This cmd command is right. This is not a command. We have set a variable cmd and with this list of strings. So you remember this is list, right? Here first one is a tickle command puts and the next string is a hello world. So this entire variable is capturing a list where the first one is tickle command itself and the next one is its argument. So this is where we are shorthanding. Okay, this is only a single tickle command we are talking about here. Next we will come to the complex ones. So once we are done, we can execute it any number of times later in this particular script. How we do it? Eval then $cmd. Now let us go to a more complex kind of command. We are using the same name, set cmd, and here first we write set output exec which tclsh. Wait. Do you see that we are using already exec here inside eval? Exec we have already learned. Yes, we can use it. Next, we print the output. Here I close it. So here inside this particular variable, there is a list of strings. Here this one and this one. Okay, they will be flattened or whatever, however tickle internally manages them. But better way for our writing and understanding, we should write in this way. The first command and then the second command, and we maintain this curly bracket position so that we understand its set of scripts. And then we use the eval $cmd. So once we execute, what output we'll get? For the first one, it is a simple one, puts hello world, so it gives the hello world. Next, it executes set first, while inside it execute the exec, okay, and from there it gets the output, and then the next command it prints that output and we get user bin tclsh. So this is a very simple to understand example of eval. I think you have grasped it. Let's move on to the next slide. Repetitive use of eval. Now this is again a very simple script to understand. In pink box our code will go in and in this black box the output will be shown. Now I have kept this very simple. In actual VLSI EDA case, this may become a complex or something like that. I am not going into the example right now because every use in VLSI EDA automation is a case by case and hardly there is a generic example I can give you. So you can use it for your own goal or the goal of the script, or you have been asked to do it. Now for this case, let us learn it simple way so that you can take it to the advanced level and do it. So learning is the first thing. Let's learn it. First line as usual, hashbang user bin tclsh. Then we give the set I with 0. We set the variable I or initiate the variable I with 0. And next what we do, we set this particular variable with the command with the list incr then I. So this is for our eval purpose, right? So that's why we are letting a set of strings to use it like a command, and we know incr is a tickle command which increases the value of this variable by 1. We have shorthanded it with this one. Next we do execute it any number of times later in the script. Now we are going to see this number repetition simply by a while loop where $i less than 20. So I will increase up to the value 20 where it stopped, and there I print it I equal to $i. What I use in the next command, eval.cmd incr. So this will keep on repeatedly used, and this value will keep on repeatedly incremented, and the counter will get incremented, and finally we close it here. So you can easily recall this is a very common example for the while loop when you learn the while loop first time, and I am using that to make things easier for you. So once you execute this script, what comes as output? Obviously 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and finally 19. So it has run up to 19. It started from 0. So 20 counts are there and it has stopped there. So 20 times this increment counter has executed and executed using this eval command. And here this counter is checked every time at the beginning of a loop, and once it dissatisfies this condition, the loop stops. So here once it reaches 20, it stops because I should be less than 20 and it stops. So this way the eval command can be repeatedly used. This is one example. There could be any number of examples. Coding can be go any direction based on your requirement. That's why it is coding. But you need a kind of seed thought to understand the basics. So I have presented it to you. So I think we are done with this particular slide. Let's move on. Let us summarize now. Eval and exec are the ways to execute internal macro and external binary respectively. Although the word macro why I am using just to relate with your C concept where we have used the macro. However, it is not a TCL concept, just to remind you. And eval is for internal and exec is for external. And also we have in this tutorial we have seen that we are clubbing the exec inside eval. So that is already I have shown. Eval provides a way of shorthand to bunch of TCL commands clubbed together. Fine, we can club multiple TCL commands and execute in one go using eval. Exec provides a way to call external binaries within, that is from within TCLSH shell. In case of EDA tool, it will be the tools shell. So folks, here we have done the comparison of eval and exec and we have clubbed them together, and finally we are summarized with our learnings. So I think we are done for the day. Let's move on. Thank you very much for watching up to this point, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. In case you have some dislike, put that in words in the comment section down below, and bye for today.